Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have Kyotsugyon. I think that's at least close to how the name is supposed to be pronounced. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the title of this. 3C. The smiley face with the weird ass like little hook beard, like what is that? Anyway, I've seen this emote before and I don't know why the C is there. I never understood that. Like, it's not an unk thing, I just don't know. But that's beside the point. Noah Sid, my executive producers, wanted me to get to this, and he also told me to tell you that I have heard Supernova, so don't ask about it. I actually did play it once on my drum streams a while ago, so I've already heard that song. So if you want to request something, that can't be it. I've already heard the song. So either way, I'm going to hear this one. And also, sorry about the audio quality today. I have to have my air conditioner on. It is the most humid day. Literally, it's 100% humidity. So don't mind the weird crackliness. I'm sure you're going to hear the awkward quality. Regardless, let's go. I also was given the reason that this song exists for the semifinals. Just hit the notes. It's that easy. Ooh. Damn. So that low, that was really nice. That bass down there, cool. What's even the point of the BPM and the beats on screen? As if anyone's gonna be able to follow those numbers. Are you kidding me? Like, why the decimal points? Just to be funny? Like... Ooh. I really like that. Really like that synth. Very simple. Extremely effective. Also, it's kind of like buzzy sort of synth. It's almost like modern talking. It's so goofy. It's even seeing the time signature on screen, I can't even count that out. What? It's so silly. Ooh. I'm loving that reverb hanging in there. Ooh. Little shift there. About 129 point what? Are you kidding me with that? Like, what? Just, again, for the meme of it, it has to be for, like, jokes, right? It's gotta be jokes.
It's joke.
This is one of those tracks designed around trying to make you feel like you're, like, separating from your body. You are having an out-of-body experience, trying to astral project, and that's just what the song feels like. I mean, all the soloing does that on its own, and just the chord progression is very positive, but also has a lot of dissonance in it. Especially, there's like this B flat thing that happens, and that's that sort of like drone that goes on through the whole song. And I'm not entirely sure if it's entirely a B flat, but it sounds like that might be the root of it. But for the most part, the song is pretty simple with its chords. It's a D flat, I believe an F minor, B flat, A flat, and E flat. Not necessarily in that order every single time, and there are some other weird spots in here where like it climbs up and it seems to utilize stuff like the F and the G, which usually should not touch any of the rest of those in most keys, and it's just like, okay, what are we doing with this? Because we're using a lot of these black keys for pretty much every other chord, but then they're like, oh, here we go, F, G, even a C in there at one point. It's like, what the hell's going on? And I think that they're trying to adjust for other keys. Like the C flat, for example, would be B. So it's like, okay, there you go, there's that. I think they even hits the minor at some point there, C flat minor. It's like, this is such a weird song, and I feel like a lot of that comes from the ability for this song to just keep going. You know, like those scales are doing everything for this song and allowing you to do anything and everything you want to. That's the confusion I was having with that maybe B flat situation where like everything is just kind of ethereal around there. Like it's just this blob of sound that happens, and I'm not sure if it's a B flat or if it's literally multiple chords just kind of sandwiched together, because there are so many frequencies I cannot tell exactly what's going on there. I'm pretty sure that I could hear the B flat in there, but there are so many things happening. Like I'm not positive, but I feel like it would be this, you know, something like that kind of blended in. Like if I was to do that on both hands, maybe it would get a little bit close, like something like that, like the top one going up a little higher and just kind of creating, even if I had to add that, you know, just that feels closest to me, maybe even in the middle as well. Just every single note, as you could probably see on the video, I'm struggling to stretch for all these because it's so much, and it still doesn't sound like I'm hitting everything. And this covers quite a bit of what you would be playing, but they might even also be adding in things like that, and I feel like this highest note up here, that C, is also in there, but I also can't go any further above that for the limitations of my keyboard. So I'm sitting here just like, I think I'm close, you know, but like that's about all I can figure out with this song. The chords being played are, again, very positive. These sorts of chords are very much the sort of thing that you would have in a song like this. Maybe the F minor is probably the lowest part of the song, and that makes sense if you're starting on the D flat and then going to the F minor and then building back up from there with stuff like the B flat and the A flat. You just have a lot of this progression heading upwards, and even when you hit that lowest point for the F minor, the whole song does not stick around that, it keeps going up. Even when they change it to things like the F and the G, those are obviously major chords and they feel major, you know, there's the positive sound behind them. This song does not like to, if it does hit any of those sour notes or the more sad chords, they do not like to stick around those chords. They like to immediately get out of there. Like if anything, that's there to add a little bit of fragility to the overall progression, while the rest of the progression is extremely progressive and uplifting and moving, and it's just heading up there, just like that whole B flat thing I showed you. It's all very dense. And in being so dense, it's extremely hard for me to break down stuff in this song. The song was cool, but also for my ears, probably a little bit too much for me. This happens a lot with this genre and this entire corner of the musical world. As interesting as it is to hear how people approach this sort of thing, it becomes an argument of, are you doing this to have fun and have a good time, which I feel this song falls into that category, or are you doing it to be pretentious because you can, not because you should? And I don't think that this song falls in there. I think if anything with the BPM thing, especially right at the end, it's definitely being a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, and I feel like a lot of the producers in this scene are like that. I still cannot help break that bias that there's a lot of people in this scene that just do weird shit for the sake of it, and it kind of bums the entirety of it for me. As fun as it is to hear, I love to hear people's expansion of this genre and their own minds and music in general, how to approach the same genres with completely new ideas. And sometimes, kind of like this one, it's nothing I would call super new, but at the same time, kind of like with this song, everything is so dense, it's like, okay, they put time into figuring out how this works and what sounds good in it. That's why I was like, with the whole B flat thing, I'm like, this feels intentional. Like I could tell that there is a root chord and set of notes in there, but it's so dense it's hard to break down exactly which ones, but at least I could tell there was one. There are times I've heard songs in the same sort of genre and sound that I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense at all, and it doesn't resonate well. It just kind of gets sour because they're doing weird stuff. Like if you were to do kind of the same thing that I did with that B flat, right? Like if I were to do that just on the one hand, but then I were to like throw that in there, it's like that doesn't work. But I've heard people do that and then they're like, but it was inspired by jazz. It's like that doesn't work for the, like if you put that in this song, the vibe is off, you know? These are the things where I can tell when a musician is trying to do something and succeeding at doing something that's a little bit more fun and creative with that sort of soundscape versus somebody who's just like, but I think that it should be this, and it's like, okay, well, chill, you know? Like there's still rules to follow in music theory. Even though they are made to be broken, you have to know how to break them first. That's something I stand firmly by. So this song is really fun, but also it's very dense and hard for me to break down. I think that in itself breaks down everything I have to say about this song. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, by all means, drop in the comments below. Remember, not Supernova, already heard that one, but it could be pretty much anything else you haven't seen on the channel yet. Make sure to look too, because a lot of people like request the same stuff that I've already gotten to months ago. Always check if you got a request. I've done a lot of these songs, so if you have something, let me know. And if you want to guarantee something, much like Nolicid did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon, and if the tier is open, you can guarantee something out of me. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!